welcome to this interview. I know you took time out and you have to drive all the way. For the record, I would want to know your party's name, your name, and then we'll begin this conversation.
I'm Elizabeth Rowley, and I'm the leader of the Communist Party of Canada, Ontario.
Okay, and we have interacted with each other before because you were just recently, as 2 days ago, you were at the Punjabi Press of Canada debates. What does your party stand for in general, in a brief, and how many candidates you are making go in this elections, and what do you expect out of this provincial election?
Well, of course, as the Communist Party, we're Canada's party of socialism, and we're Ontario's party of socialism. And we're running in this election 9 candidates, so we're running in about 8% of the riding. So we think that there's a great danger in this election from the right, and that if Ontarians do in fact support the HUDAC Conservative alternative, that it will be disastrous for Ontario. We know that Mr. Hudak has announced last week that he's going to go ahead with wage controls. He's threatening public sector workers with wage controls. The last government that tried to do that was a Liberal government many years ago in 1976, and what ensued was a all-Canada general strike, and that's the kind of response I think we can expect from Labour if the Conservatives are elected again, and to undertake those kinds of policies. They're also proposing massive cuts to social spending, including health and education, because the investments they propose are well below the inflation rate. The super jails that they're proposing, the 2 strikes laws, these are all would be disastrous for Ontario.
You're painting a picture the Liberals are the good thing?
No, we don't. No, we don't think that there's a substantial amount of difference between the Liberals and the Tories, except on the issue of the policies that I've just mentioned. The Liberals actually have delivered since 2003 the Tory policies in healthcare. What is your
standpoint on NDP then?
Well, with respect to the NDP, we would like to see the NDP take much stronger stance. For example, we are campaigning for a complete repeal of the HST, and we would hope that the NDP would be in a position, if they form a government or are in a coalition, to make that a demand. That would make a 13% cut in prices for all Ontario consumers, a very important tax break, a very important price break.
Just very recently in the elections, debates do come up, questions do arise. The question came up that Liberals came up with a tax credit law for the employers to employ new Canadians. First it was new Canadians, then it was new Canadian citizens. PC went ahead, Mr. Hudak, and called it foreign workers. What is your standpoint on that, and what is your party's standpoint on immigration?
Well, we can see with Mr. Hudak's comments that he sees new Canadians as foreigners. It's frightening. That's a good reason all by
Even
itself.
The Liberals didn't give anything. It's new now. It's new Canadian citizens, so it's practically nobody.
Well, we think that the Hudak, that the Conservatives were a very racist party, and we think those kinds of comments show that that's the case. What we would like to see is we would like to see the credentials of internationally trained professionals recognized in Canada. In the case of physicians, for example, there's a physician shortage in this country. In Northern Ontario and in parts of Southern Ontario, you can't get a doctor. So why not recognize the credentials of foreign trained doctors and other professionals? We're a big country.
In favor of immigration, your party
standpoint? Oh yes, absolutely. We're in favor of an open and democratic immigration policy, and we are very opposed to the current kind of policies that are being introduced by the federal government. We think very dangerous for democracy.
Good luck in days to come. What I would suggest that this new media that is coming up, and especially I would speak for the South Asian point of view, South Asian media, I would want your party in the days to come to make some inroads, because create awareness. That's just a mild suggestion.
Thank you very much.
And in the end, would you like to look into the camera and give some message out there to the voters?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for the opportunity here today. We think that a key question in this election campaign is tax reform. We want to see the HST repealed. We want to see corporate taxes doubled from 10 to 20%. And we want to see the tax burden shifted from working people onto big business. That's how we can pay for social programs, expanding health care, opening hospital beds, opening a new hospital in Brampton, Brampton, getting rid of the P3 Olsler model. We want to see affordable housing. We want to see job creation. We want to see a new university built in Brampton, and we want to see an end to tuition fees. We want to abolish them. If students have the marks, they should get the spots, and it shouldn't be dependent upon the wealth that their parents have or don't have, or their willingness as students to take on enormous debts. We can do better in this election than the Liberals and Tory policies of cutbacks and takebacks, looking outside the box at policies that reflect the interests of working people in Brampton. You'd have to look left, you'd have to look at the Communist Party. It's not an election, it's not a horse race, this election. Instead of voting for the winners, and be careful what you wish for, vote for policies that reflect your interests. Vote Communist in Brampton, Springdale. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and good luck in days to come.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.